Hi, I'm Frank Bayershon, and I am a patient at the St. Alphonsus Cancer Institute. I was happily retired, as I still am, and playing softball and racquetball and golf and writing books and just having the life.
I don't know about you, Frank, I'm working up a sweat.
And accidentally, as it turned out, I was playing pickleball with a good friend of mine who happens to be a prominent doctor, local doctor.
About 2 or 3 sessions into playing pickleball with Frank, he started to notice and complain more and more of a back pain. And so I asked him about it. I said, Frank, tell me about this back pain.
And he asked me right there on the pickleball court to describe where the pain was and how it was.
And instead of being low back pain, which is where physicians see most back pain, this was mid-thoracic, about halfway up the spinal column, mid-back. That is a red flag area.
He got nervous and he said, you know, what you're describing, Frank, could be serious.
And I said to Frank, I looked him right in the eye, I said, Frank, you got to go and get this followed up on. They need at least an X-ray, if not a CT scan or MRI, just to make sure you're okay. And that's how the story started.
So I followed up with that and had an MRI and revealed that I had a cancer called multiple myeloma, for which there's no cure, which was not very pleasant information to come across. But that began a whole different life for Pat and I.
As far as his diagnosis goes, I think it was just over the telephone. You know, it was kind of a surprise. I knew he was having some problems with pain in his back, and it was a shock, you know.
He wanted positive energy around this, and even though he really wants to choose to live as long as he possibly can live, you know, it was a pretty strong confrontation to face the fact that he was dealing with such a serious illness.
Thus began, you know, the treatment protocol. First, the intensive radiation, targeted radiation, which is a miraculous in and of itself. The technology that allows radiation of very specific small points in your body rather than general bombardment with radiation. So I got to take advantage of that technology with a wonderful team of radiologists at the Nampa facility.
Well, multiple myeloma is a rare hematologic malignancy. It's part of the malignancies that affect the blood system. Although it's rare, but it's also one of the most common hematologic malignancy that we see. He had a significant damage to the bone, to the spine with his multiple myeloma, which required actually surgical intervention and radiation to the area. That was part of his treatment, and that went well. Took time to recover, and then chemotherapy is actually the main stem of treatment, because that's how you kind of counteract the myeloma, the cancer cells.
Every step of the way, I think his surgery was, something so much more intense than he expected. I think that really was a shock in a way for him, and I think he went into the surgery knowing he had to do it, but I don't know if he realized how hard it was going to be to come back.
One of the key things from a physician perspective is you want an early and accurate diagnosis, because the earlier it is and the more accurate it is, the more appropriate treatment you can get matched with it. Fortunately, that all worked out really well for Frank.
I think Frank is doing great. He has achieved complete remission to his treatment, and that's the ultimate that we want to get from the treatment.
As part of my life's journey, and certainly part of my cancer healing journey, doing the things that you love to do that bring you immediate satisfaction are important. And Pat always says that she always knows when I've been writing when I come downstairs with a smile on my face, and that's true. When we first moved here, we didn't know anybody. You know, we knew a couple of people that Pat had started babysitting for, got a phone call that she had had a car accident, and she was rushed to St. Al's Hospital, and she was admitted to St. Al's Hospital. Pat spent the night at the hospital, got great compassionate care. When the Festival Tree thing came up the next year, I volunteered to take pictures. It was all day, 13 hours a day, five days in a row, that we did that for 20 years. There are families, and there are families, that come back year after year after year, generations. It's very special. and we get a lot of personal satisfaction out of it. Well, it's a bit ironic, obviously, that you know, our effort was, you know, every year there was worthy beneficiaries for the money raised, but to have it, you know, for multiple years, the funds going directly to the Cancer Institute becomes particularly meaningful to somebody with cancer because they, you know, they need resources. By January of this year, I was in remission, and I've stayed in remission, and you know that my health, quality of my life and my health have continued to get better and better.
Even though he's my younger brother, he's been a source of inspiration to me for a very long time in our adult life because of his capacity to really look at the positive and reach for the positive.
You don't know what the future holds, but today is very, very good, and considering the fact that we didn't know how many days we would have left back at the beginning, we're not only optimistic, but we're thrilled that we've had the support that we've had from family, friends, each other. Good luck, you know, and the wonderful resources at St. Alphonsus Cancer Institute.
Do it again soon.